Hi guys, welcome to my video and my YouTube channel. My name is Ronnie and I have made a game called Cyber Rats, and today I'm going to tell you the sad story about why Cyber Rats failed, what mistakes I made and what you can do to avoid those same mistakes. Okay, so sit back, grab a cup of coffee and some popcorn and let's begin. I spent over 1 year creating this game Cyber Rats. I actually quit my job at a very successful game studio to be able to make this game, to see if I could make games for a living on my own, right? And it didn't work, guys. And let's dive into the details of why I think that my game Cyber Rats failed. Let me very shortly explain what Cyber Rats is about. I mean, we need to understand the game before we can understand what went wrong, right? The game Cyber Rats is a game where you control cute rats in horrifying and deadly mazes filled with traps and monsters. The goal for the rat is to collect 10 pieces of cheese and then get out of the maze. You have 3 rats to select from. You can upgrade them, you can buy new rats. Everything is procedurally generated. The maze is random every time you go down to it. The rats you play with are also procedurally generated with different looks, colors, abilities, stats, things like that. The rats have 1 life, they have 1 hit point. So if you get eaten by a monster or if you step on a trap, the rat is dead. You can collect some coins to be able to revive those rats again, or you can buy new rats for those coins. That's the basic premise of the game. That's it. It's super simple. It's a horror game, it's a roguelike, and it's challenging. These keywords are important throughout the rest of this video. I was convinced that this game would be a success. To me, it has all the ingredients of a great game, right? It looks good, the animations are great, it plays well, it has an engaging game loop where you are constantly dying and getting new rats to try again. That's the rogue-lite elements of the game. It's a horror game, which is a huge genre. The game has like built-in dynamic jump scare system, right? Every trap you step on is coming suddenly and it will jump scare you. All the monsters can suddenly appear right behind the door or wall and jump scare you, right? And people love jump scares. The game is also very violent. Every time you die in this game, it's in an absolutely horrifying and brutal and bloody way with horrifying animations playing, right? And I think people love violent games. And if you strip this game all the way down to its core, this is more or less a modern version of Pac-Man, right? You are trapped in a maze, you're collecting stuff, you're trying not to get killed by horrifying monsters. And who doesn't like Pac-Man? When I launched this game at the Scream Fest, I had 5,000 wishlist, more or less. And during that following month, the wishlist came up to around 20,000 wishlist, which I think was pretty awesome. So I was happy. I'm thinking, okay, things are taking off now. So within the first 15 days after release, the game earned around 1 month of salary, which I think was super awesome. We are on fire here. We are cooking. Things are looking great, right? Then after those 15 days, the sale just went down to a crawl and I was selling almost no units a day. It was not looking good on the curve, which was a big mystery to me, but let's find out why that is the case. I even had a lot of streamers streaming this game and YouTubers playing the game. Many small channels, but also some big ones. The biggest one was H2O Delirious, and he has around 13 million subscribers. And when he played the game, there was 17,000 people who were watching, and he played it for 1.5 hours. And even that didn't make any big spike in the sales. So yeah, it's pretty obvious that something is wrong with this game. The first problem I ran into was the Steam Next Fest, a huge event where you can submit your demo, and it will get as much exposure as every other demo that is joining that Next Fest event. So the playing field is leveled. Everyone is equal when the Next Fest starts. And this is where the first problem comes in. So the day before Next Fest was going to start, I made a super small change to the game. It was basically just the build number in the corner of the screen when you play the game. It says demo version 1.0. I added that, but then I forgot to rename the exe file. If you upload a build and the exe file is not called the same as the build you have uploaded before, then it doesn't work. The game will just not launch, right? And that happened. I made that small demo update, and then I forgot to rename the exe file. And what happened was the build got uploaded to Steam, and then I got locked out because of some security update. I must have clicked yes to updating my security info, something like that. And that meant I was locked out of Steam for 72 hours, which was an absolute disaster when Next Fest was going live the day after. I couldn't get in for 3 days. I had a demo out that didn't even want to start. It just pops up with an error. Game can't start. And Next Fest was starting the day after. And the only thing I could do about that was to write to Steam and say, hey, I got this problem. We have a disaster here. My game is supposed to join the Next Fest, but I can't. I can't get in and fix the broken build, right? And so I wrote Steam, and then I was just waiting. That meant when Steam Next Fest started, my demo wasn't working, and it didn't work for 8 hours. Luckily, someone on Steam fixed this problem for me, and I could upload a demo build that worked. But for the first 8 hours of Steam Next Fest, the game was just broken, and I think that is really, really bad. And I'm pretty sure that this meant that my game was getting pushed all the way down at the bottom of all the lists. People couldn't even play it. So when the game started to work, all demos has already been played and has put into these lists new and trending, and things were starting to make a pattern, right? And my game was just at the bottom. I mean, how could it not be? So Steam Next Fest was an absolute disaster for my game, and that is my own fault. I completely screwed it up. There's no way around it. This is purely on me because I was an idiot. Another thing about this game that I think people found very confusing was that I had marketed this game as a horror game, but also a rogue-lite game. And these two genres just never mix together. I haven't seen any successful game which is a horror game, but is also a rogue-lite game. And I was trying to mix these two genres, which meant that rogue-lite gamers didn't really get a rogue-lite game, they got a horror game, right? And the horror game players got a weird gameplay loop with rogue-lite elements in it. It wasn't just moving down a mansion, getting jump scared, hearing weird noises, exploring the mansion, figuring out what's going on, finding its exit. All these things that make horror games popular was not really in this game. This was like an arcade action game with horror elements and roguelike elements. And I think that really confused people, right? If you're a horror fan and you watch the trailer and you watch this rat run around collecting coins and power-ups and things like that, they're thinking, well, this doesn't really look like a horror game, right? And roguelike gamers are looking at the trailer. They see a action game that is very dark and horror-like. I think, I mean, I don't know if that makes any sense. I didn't cater to any of these people. I think that was the main problem. And then we have another problem where just the violence of this game. I mean, people do like violence, but they don't really like violence that is aimed at animals, right? And especially cute animals. So why are these animals getting killed in such a brutal way? I think that turned off a lot of people. Like animal cruelty, no one likes that at all. Like horrifying red animal in pain while it burns alive. Right? I don't think people want that. I wasn't really paying attention to that when I made the game. I thought it was an awesome contrast to have these cute animals die in horrific ways. And I mean, the game still looks like a game. This is not realistic graphics. You can see all the polygons. It's semi low polygon art style. It doesn't really look real, right? But I think it still turned off a lot of people. And since these horrifying death animations and violence is one of the main selling points of the game, it's in every trailer. I put as many death sequences into every trailer, as many as I can, because that is the main selling point. I'm an animator, so this is the stuff that I'm good at. So it's up in people's faces when they watch the trailer that horrifying things are happening to these animals. And thinking back on it now, I don't think that was such a smart idea. Then we have the 2 points which I mostly talked about in the negative reviews of this game. The first one being the difficulty. People think it's too difficult. I don't say anywhere in the marketing that this is a difficult, hardcore and challenging game, right? It looks like a fun arcade game, but when you start playing it, you keep dying. It's just difficult for you to complete these levels, right? You keep getting killed, but that is, I mean, getting killed is part of this whole game loop of the game. That is the roguelike part. You're supposed to die. You're supposed to engage with this rat system where rats are dying. You're reviving rats. You're buying new rats. It's a loop, like, you know, in Rogue Legacy. You keep dying. Then you get a new character. Then you try. He has different stats. Then he dies. Then you get a new character with different stats. It's the same in this game. And again, that might appeal to roguelike gamers, but I don't think it appeals to horror game gamers. People thought it was too difficult, and I kind of I did make the game easier. It is much easier now than it was at launch. But if I make the game too easy, then all the horror part of the game starts falling apart. Then it's not scary anymore. Okay, so the monsters in the maze stop being scary if you can just avoid them too easy. Then you don't feel like you are a rat trying to survive in this maze. So the game has to have a certain difficulty to kind of keep the horror aspect of the game. And then we have the replayability, the game itself, which is also a big problem. As I said before, this gigantic YouTuber streamed the game for 1.5 hours and he got 17,000 viewers to watch his stream, and it didn't really make people buy the game. And why is that? And I think that is because when he played the game for 1.5 hours, everyone watching felt like they have, you know, experienced enough of the game. There's nothing they could go in and find in the game that he didn't find in that 1.5 hours. Right? There's nothing new for them. If they bought the game, they will just be doing the exact same thing as he would. Even though everything is procedurally generated, you're still just collecting cheese and you're upgrading 5 stats on your rats. That's it. And this guy, he didn't complete the game. He died at the, I think maybe it was the last maze. But again, there was not enough in the game to make people want to go in and buy it and try it for themselves. I mean, you could not experiment with different builds or power-ups or upgrades. You can't get any tools in the maze that will help you fight off these enemies. There was nothing you could do. So watching him play it meant that you have just watched the whole game. Why would you buy it yourself? Another thing that many of the negative reviews are highlighting, and also just in general comments on the Steam forum and YouTube videos and everywhere, is that the game has no multiplayer. That's a huge negative for people. Maybe the game looks like a friend slot game where you are supposed to run around with 4 rats like in Lethal Company, and you can speak with each other if you're close enough, and you work together to find all the cheese in the maze. I mean, that would be super awesome, and I would love to have that in a game, but I don't have it in a game. I can't make it. I'm an artist. I have no idea how to make a multiplayer game. I think that is also one of the big turn-offs for people. It looks like something that would be super fun to play with your friends. Then when you see it's only single player, then never mind. We'll wait for the multiplayer update and then we might buy it. So not having multiplayer is a big negative. And it does feel like that is kind of expected in most games today, that they have multiplayer. So when it came to marketing the game, I believe I did everything right. I made awesome trailers. I think they're awesome. I made a lot of small teaser videos. I made some devlog videos. I just made random videos talking about this game. I shared these videos on YouTube. I shared them on Twitter, Blue Sky, even LinkedIn. I shared a lot of stuff on Reddit too, on many of the subreddits. And some of the subreddits even banned me for spamming. I mean, it's super difficult, guys, because, you know, you keep seeing on Twitter and everywhere else, you need to market your game, go out, show it everywhere you can. And when you do that on Reddit, you're just getting kicked, right? So marketing is just super difficult. I wrote just around 200 emails to streamers that focus on horror games. Small streamers, big streamers, everyone, Markiplier, you know, Jacksepticeye, all these guys also got a mail, but, you know, they don't read them, right? As I sent mail to news outlets, nothing happened. No one replied. I think out of those 200 emails I sent out to influencers, I got like 10 replies back. Many of them said that they found the mail in their spam folder, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. I did not put videos in the mail. I did not put links in the mail. I did not put GIFs. I didn't put a ton of smileys in the title. I did everything I could so that the spam filter would not pick up this mail, but it got picked up anyways. And that took like 4 days to write all these emails. It's not just a copy paste. I need to go in, figure out what this YouTuber is about. Maybe it's someone I have subscribed for years, and I want to make something, write something personal to that guy also. That was a lot of emails, and it didn't really give anything back, except for those 10 YouTubers who made a video about the game. So thank you guys for that. I made 3 big updates to the game. The first one was just a lot of fixes, and it added a lot of new small features to the game. It was still a pretty big update. The second one was 2 new biomes for the mazes, which was a very big update, and it gave a lot to the game in the term of variety. And then I made the hardcore mode update, which was very needed for those people who thought the game was too easy, because there's also those people, like myself, for example, and people who want a challenge. Can you complete the game with 1 rat with no upgrades? I think that was a super awesome update. But again, guys, it was like I was making this game for myself. And I think that is one of the big one. The two big one I see: making the game for myself and not making it for a specific audience. That is, I think that is one of the biggest mistakes you can do as an indie developer. Make a game for the correct audience. Know the audience you're making the game for. Figure out what they like. Find similar games to the audience you're targeting. Play those games. Study what they do right. That is one thing. Don't try and mix different genres, thinking that you will create something new and revolutionizing, something the world has never seen before. Most of those games just fails also. There's a few now and then: Vampire Survivors, Flappy Bird, Minecraft, those games that just takes off and invent a completely new genre. Know the audience that is going to play your game and then make a game for that audience. And that kind of merges into the second big one, which is don't make a game for yourself. Make a game for your audience. I know it's so much more fun to make a game that you think is fun to play and that you think is fun to make. But who's it for? You cannot just make a game for yourself, then you're making a game for no one. This might be the difficult part, because you're also making games because you think it's fun. And you can't work on a game which you don't think is fun to work on. If you don't feel the game, maybe 1 million people will play it, but it's just not a game for you. So it's super difficult for you to work on it. And that is again where, I don't know, something like game developer pride comes in, right? I know what this game needs. I know how to make a good game. I know how to make awesome game loops. I know what feature I want to put in to this game to make it awesome, right? And maybe you don't know. Maybe you do know how to make the perfect game for yourself. But you're not making a game for yourself. You're making a game for an audience. I mean, if the goal is for your game to earn money, then you need to find the audience and make a game for those. If your goal is to just have fun, learn how to make a game, then of course you should make a game for yourself, which motivates you to keep going. And with Cyber Rats, I was making a game for myself. How can I take the idea of Pac-Man and then make a modern, advanced version of that I would enjoy to play? That's the whole concept of Cyber Rats. How can I make a horror version of Pac-Man that I would think was fun to play? I didn't even look if there were any other games in that genre. I didn't research the market to figure out what people like to play most. I just got this idea about these rats in the maze, which I thought was an awesome idea, and then I just wanted to make that out of the blue. And since the goal of Cyber Rats was for me to be able to earn enough money so that I could live for the next year from the income of that game, in that perspective, I did it all wrong. I made a game for myself thinking it would earn a lot of money. What I should have done was make a game for horror fans and then earn a lot of money. All in all, my game sold around 2,500 copies in these 4 months that the game has been out, and I think that is super awesome. I am super proud of this game I've made. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's super polished. I think the game loop and everything around it is super great. It's a game that I myself like to play. And when I say that the game has flopped or the game has failed, that does mean I'm not proud of the game, because I am proud of the game. But the goal with this game was for me to earn a lot of money so I can keep making games. The goal was not to sell 1,000 units. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to sell 20,000 units, because that would give me another year to work as an indie developer. The game didn't reach that goal, which is why I consider it a failure. And guys, I want your opinion on why my game failed. You can watch the trailers, you can watch the gameplay, you can even download the free demo on Steam, play it, let me know why you think this game didn't sold more than it did. Let's talk about it in the comments. Let's all learn from this game so we won't make the same mistakes in the future, alright? Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.